Good morning and welcome back to team qualifying at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. I am Aaron Smith of USBC Communications, and we are live at Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. We will see games 4 through 6 for the men's qualifying round. And when that's all said and done, we will know our top 4 teams for the medal round, which will be later this evening. We'll also have women's team qualifying wrap up right after this block. So for the medal rounds, they'll actually both be going on at the same time, and then we'll have both finals going on simultaneously right here on our featured pairs. So by the end of the day, we will know our team champions here at the 2015 event. Today, competitors are bowling on the 44-foot London pattern. They saw this pattern in singles as well. Yesterday was the 41-foot Montreal, so versatility a key here at the Senior Championships for those looking to not only succeed in the team event, but in all events as well. These final 3 games will also decide the medalists in the all events category. So a lot to be decided still. And for those of you curious about the United States men's team, obviously there's a lot of talk yesterday with Bob Learn Jr.'s injury. They are a few pairs away from us on 27 and 28. Bob looks pretty taped up in his on his right wrist today, so looks like he's actually hooking the ball today. So we'll see how that works out. The U.S. team found themselves in 7th, heading into this final 3-game block, with a score of 23-77. Leading after the first 3 games, Australia 25-93 in second, Russia 25-07. 1 pin behind is New Zealand 25-06. And sitting in 4th are defending gold medal champions in the team event, Sweden 24-95. Canada is in 5th at 24-57, and England is in 6th, 24-54. So only the top 6 teams are on the right side of plus. Once again, U.S. in 7th, 23-77. They're minus 23 through 3 games. To start off today, we are joined by the Netherlands and Brazil on 31 and 2, along with the Virgin Islands and Romania on 33 and 34. So we'll get through the lineups in just a minute, as well as just give a little recap of what's happened so far and still what's left to come here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. But we appreciate everyone swinging by and joining us throughout the week here on Bowl TV. Still a lot of bowling left to come, so don't go too far. We'll wrap up tomorrow with Masters. And then just like that, the 2015 event will be in the books, and the top senior players in the world will have to wait till 2017 in Germany to try their hand again at the Senior Championships. 33 countries represented, more than 200 participants. So a very cool field, a very cool event to just be a part of. It's been fun so far, and looking forward to the final 2 days. So game 1 of 3 today, 4 of 6 in the block. Thanks for tuning in. All right, we're cruising along here. Game number 1 of the final block of qualifying for the men's team event at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. As I mentioned, we will also know our our all events winners by the end of the day, as the 6-game qualifying blocks from singles, doubles, and team event determine the medalists for all events. There's not a medal round per se where there's actually an additional roll-off. It's just high 3 scores, gold, silver, and bronze. We'll also know the top 24 advancing to tomorrow's Masters round on both the men's and the women's side by the time we're done today. So for the men's event through 15 games, 6 singles, 6 doubles, and 3 team, Canadian John Chapman is on top of the standings with a 33.04 total. It's approximately a 220 average. He's got a 67-pin lead over Ron Moore and Sean Cummings. Moore with the United States, Cummings from Australia. They're both at 32-37. So they're at about a 215 clip so far. We got to see Chapman kick off the team event yesterday here on Bowl TV with the front 9 before a 10-pin ended his run. But a big 277 out of the gates certainly helped pad that lead. Chapman has already claimed 2 medals at the 2015 event, a bronze in singles and a heartbreaking silver medal in doubles, along with Ray Vervink of Canada. Ended up being a 1-pin victory in men's doubles for the Colombian duo of Nicolas Ruiz and Julio Soto over Canada. If you want to see that final, and I would highly suggest, if you got the time, at least check out the final few frames coming down the stretch. Be sure to check out the archives here on youtube.com/bowltv to see all the action in case you missed anything from the World Bowling Senior Championships, as well as any other videos that we've put up. You can find them all somewhere there on our YouTube page. For those of you wanting to follow your favorite player or favorite team, you can go to the description area below the video here, and there's a link to the live scoring application. There's also a link to the standings, so that's where I'm getting all my information from. So feel free to check that out. A lot of good information on there, and of course, the main website for World Bowling, worldbowling.org. You can go there and find your way to the Senior Championships page. The direct link to the Senior Championships page, 2015 WSRC.worldbowling.org. All right, we'll get a rundown of our players here. I believe we saw Brazil in the team event yesterday as well. But their team is made up of Luiz Afonso Braga, Eugenio Carvalho, Jamil Sales, and Marcio Vieira. Also joining them on 31 and 32 from the Netherlands, Jan de Bruin, Tom Janssen, Ron Vanden Bogard, and Henry Van Steenis. So those are our players on 31 and 32. Over on 33 and 34 for the Virgin Islands, we have Vincent Eberson, Valencio Jackson, Kevin Kitter, and Hugo Moorhead. They're teamed up with Romania. I believe we saw Romania during one of our games yesterday as well. Ioncia staring at a 10-pin right now. He's joined by Marcel Tarasi. Florian Mihailescu. They actually had a substitution for their anchor bowler, so his name not in the program. As soon as he pops up, we'll be sure to give him a mention. A big round of applause for the U.S. team over on 27 and 28 if you want to follow them on the live scoring. Definitely going to need a big day here on the 44-foot London pattern. Once again, the injury update on Bob Learn Jr. He is heavily taped up on his wrist and right forearm. He's back to doing things we're used to seeing Bob Learn do, which is wheel and deal. During doubles and the first 3 games of team event, Bob was throwing the high hard one. Very direct shots at the pocket. Almost no hook on the ball, essentially throwing a straight ball, trying to keep the ball in play and leave makeable spares, which he did for the most part. Up on 34, our final player for Romania, Cornelu Ante Marescu. He's going to be looking to take care of the washout here in frame number 5. Unable to convert though. Coming into today, Brazil was the highest out of all the teams we have on our feature pair right now. They're sitting in 15th with 22.43. Romania was in 19th, 21.98. The Netherlands in 20th, 21.76. And the Virgin Islands in 24th at 20.46. So outside of a humongous final block, I don't think I think these guys may fall a little bit short of making the medal round or contending for it. But they're still also working on their all events totals. As we mentioned, the women's second block of team qualifying will be coming up at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 12:30 locally here in Las Vegas, and then starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, we will have both the men's and women's medal round. So the semifinal matches are one-game matches, with the 1 seed taking on the 4 seed and the 2 seed bowling against the 3 seed. So it's going to work out a little differently than what we've had for our final rounds in singles and doubles. Where the semifinals will, for both the men and the women, will take place outside of our 31 to 34 range. So we're going to borrow a few extra tables from the good folks at Samstown and do our best to get some angled shots of the semifinals. But after we know who's going to be in the championship match, we're going to get the cameras right back to this setup that you see right here. And we will have the men and women bowling right next to each other to determine who takes home the gold. Vieira, never a doubt on that one. I never thought he was going to miss that, so covers the spare to stay clean through 5. Just a recap of our medal rounds so far, if you've happened to miss those throughout the week. Once again, those are on our archives if you want to watch them. But in men's singles, Australia's Andrew Frawley ended up taking the gold, defeating Canada's Todd Sim in the final match. On the women's side, in singles, we had an all-Swedish final as Christina Nordenson lasted her teammate Suzanne Olsen to take home the gold. In men's doubles, we talked about a little bit earlier, a crazy ending to a spectacular match. It was anyone's ball game the entire way out, but Colombia, the team of Nicolas Ruiz and Julio Soto, recorded the 1-pin victory over Canada's John Chapman and Ray Vervink. Definitely something to go and check out those last few frames. Clutch 10th from Ruiz. And then something you don't expect to see or say too often is Soto needing to convert the 1-5-8-9. Did so to force Vervink to cover the 3-9-10 in order to force a tie. Vervink only able to get the 9 and the 10. Ball hooked a little bit too late to catch the 3, giving Colombia the 1-pin victory and the gold. In women's doubles, the U.S. team of Lucy Sandelin and Paula Vidad defeated Germany's Martina Beckel and Gisela Insiger 430 to 417. For Sandelin, it was redemption after she and Tish Johnson had taken the silver at this event in 2013. And for Vidad, it was one of the best birthday presents ever. Getting to receive the gold medal and hear the national anthem play. Definitely a pretty cool thing to see. So there's a little bit of a recap of what's transpired here since we started. The opening ceremonies were on the 24th of August. That was Monday. Bowling actually started on Tuesday. We've been rolling ever since. Tomorrow will be the last day of competition here at the 2015 event. We'll be starting about a half hour later than what we've been for the most part this week. We'll be starting at 9 a.m. local time, noon Eastern, for the first round of Masters. The top 24 players advancing. They're going to bowl 6 games to determine the top 8. And then the second round will feature round robin to determine who gets to the top 4 for the medal round. And then after the medal round, we're all said and done. It's been a great run here in Las Vegas. It's been a cool opportunity to chat with a bunch of great people, and throughout the week, even though there may have been a language barrier from times, the sport of bowling is universal, and a lot of smiles, a lot of photos this week. Very cool experiences for a lot of these folks. So it's been fun to watch, and we hope you enjoyed it as well here on Bowl TV. Just a reminder, we're not the only show in town today. My colleague Lucas Wiseman is in the Metro Detroit area with the round robin and stepladder portions of the PWBA Detroit Open today over on Extra Frame. So if you have to leave here, we hope you're spending some time with Lucas and some of the top female players from around the world. Had a tough pattern this week. Looking at the qualifying scores from yesterday, only a handful of players plus when it was all said and done. So a short 35-foot pattern turned out to be pretty demanding. We're on the opposite side here at the World Bowling Senior Championships for today. The 44-foot London pattern is what we're competing on. All right, we're hitting the home stretch here of game number 1 today of team qualifying at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. We're joined by competitors from Brazil, the Netherlands, Romania, and Virgin Islands for game number 1. In game 2, bowlers will move pairs, so we'll have a brand new group joining us. Let's see who it'll be. Let's see, we'll have Germany on 33 and 34. Sweden will be on 32, our defending champion. We'll also have 2 teams, not necessarily full teams, but teams were allowed to bring a maximum of 4 players. Some brought 3, some brought 2, some only had 1 player make it out to the event, so we'll have a few of those smaller teams joining us on 31 and 33, along with the other 2 teams mentioned, so but we'll get to see a few new faces, and once again, those bowlers still competing for their all events total. They look to advance to tomorrow's Masters round. Coming into today's competition to make the top 24 through 15 games was a 29-76 total. Just 24 pins under a 200 average. Germany's Frank-Peter Frey holding on to that spot coming into today. Three out of the 4 players on the American team also entering today's competition in the top 24. You mentioned Ron Moore tied for 2nd with Australia's Sean Cummings. Lenny Borsch Jr. started the day in 5th, not too far out of the medal round, or the not too far out of the medal himself. And Johnny Petraglia sitting in 19th with a 3,016 total. Once again, Bob Learn fighting a wrist injury all week. He is outside of the top 24. stepping up on 32, Luis Afonso Braga. Putting together a pretty solid effort so far here in the first game of the day. Make it a three-bagger to set up the 10th. He can still get to 246 here in the opener. Romania and the Virgin Islands already in the 10th. Over on 27 and 28. The U.S. team can still get to right around plus for game number 1. But not much more than that. That would be with a big 10th from Lenny Borsch and Ron Moore. Petraglia finished up 170. Bob Learn Jr. striking on his fill ball for 175. And then Borsch can punch out for 245. And Moore can get to 224. So that would give him a few pins in the right direction, but once again, they still had quite a bit to make up to get themselves around the number, entering the day in 7th. They entered today 118 pins out of the 4th spot. Also had 3 teams. No, I was right, 2 teams between them as well. So those teams also looking to find the same success. Borsch delivers on the first shot of the 10th. And yes, this is a family-friendly show, so that individual has been removed from being able to post. So remove the comment as well. Hopefully you refresh, that nonsense will be gone. But yes, please keep it clean in the chat room. We're all here to have a good time, but definitely doesn't need to go that way. Romania finishes up with a 694. Valencio Jackson gets the first strike in the 10th. Now as a double, he can still get to 183 for the Virgin Islands. Lenny Borsch finished up with 232. As Jackson makes it 3 in a row. Great shot. All three to finish up game number 1. Jackson finishes with 183 to get the Virgin Islands to 658. Romania at 28.92 after 4, 27.04 for the Virgin Islands. So we see Team Germany already awaiting their turn to get ready on 33 and 34. So we will wait for our next group to start as teams begin to move across this 56-lane center. Looks like the U.S. team is going to be at 787, more finishing with 213. So they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them if they want to advance to the medal round later today. Carvalho finishes up with 192 with the strike on the fill ball. Germany got out of the gates with 746, it looks like, with their 31.09 total up there. So that would put them, well, they were already, they were in 8th to start, so we'll see where they end up. The team on 33, we have 3 players from China. The 4th, a pacer, so they do not have a full team per se. Okay, last shot for Braga. Trips the 4 to finish. Oh, he still has one more. Getting ahead of myself, but trips the 4 regardless. Gets him in the 240s. Nice 2:45 for Braga. Great way to kick off the day. Maybe even give him that push he needs to make the top 24. Let's see where he was at in the all-event standings coming into today. Luis was in 87th with a 26:38 total, so we definitely need a big day, and that's a good way to start it, 2:45. All right, our bowlers on 33 and 34, wasting no time. They're already starting game 2. The Netherlands in the books at 700 on the nose. For 4, they're at 28.76. Brazil can get to 785 with a strike on their final shot. There it is. 785 puts them at 30-28 for 4. So game 1 in the books here. Moving right along to game number 2 of 3 for this block. Looks like Sweden and Bolivia will be on 31 and 32. China and Germany 33 and 34. So as soon as we get the standings after 1, we'll let you know. Thanks again for joining us here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. I'm Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. Thanks for joining us this week. It's been exciting so far, and we still have all events, team, and masters champions to crown here. So still a lot of fun left before this tournament wraps up tomorrow. So thanks again for joining us here. We'll be here all day on Bowl TV. Be sure to check out bowl.com/live stream to have the full schedule of events and when we'll be airing. So All right, standings have updated on site. We'll get you those in just a second. As they come back around here. Game number 2 of 3 for round 2 of qualifying. At 33-61, Sweden now in the lead. Took over Australia by 2 pins. New Zealand sitting in 3rd, England in 4th. Russia dropped to 5th, Canada 6th, US still in 7th. Germany in 8th, Finland 9th, Mexico rounds out your top 10. As soon as it updates online as well, we'll let you know, and we'll get you a little bit more on the specifics, but big first game from Sweden. They were in 4th starting the day. Great shots like that have propelled them into the lead, the defending gold medal winning team at the World Bowling Senior Championships. Both the men and the women Swedish teams in 2013 captured gold medals. So they're looking for a repeat performance here in 2015. The 2013 World Bowling Senior Championships was the inaugural event. So scheduled to run every 2 years. The next one in 2017, scheduled to take place in Germany. We are joined by a team from Germany here today on 33 and 34. Once again, we're joined by a few teams that have pacers bowling with them. Countries could bring a maximum of 4 players for both their men's and women's team. Some countries fielded 3, others 2, some just 1. So on 31 and 2, we have 2 bowlers from Bolivia, along with 2 pacers. And on 33 and 4, we have 3 bowlers from China with a pacer. So their scores not necessarily adding up towards the team totals, since it is a 4-player team event, but their individual scores are going towards all events to see if they can take home a medal or post enough to qualify in the top 24 for Masters competition. All right, block 2 now online. So scores a little bit lower overall. Sweden fired a very consistent 866 across the board. Jan Nordberg at 211, Peter Eriksson 228, Johan Aberg 215, and Christer Peterson at 212. For the block, Finland was next high with 790, followed by the United States at 787. So only 1 team plus on the fresh 44-foot London pattern. Australia, our day 1 leader, shot 766 to fall into 2nd by just 2 pins. So when we look at the overall standings, once again, Sweden 33-61, Australia 33-59. And there's some separation between them and the rest of the field, about 120 pins. New Zealand holding on to 3rd at 32-38, and England moving into the top 4 for the first time in the team event, 32-17. They hold a 10-pin advantage over Russia, who's at 32-07. Canada in sixth at 31.90. And the U.S. in seventh at 31.64. So for the U.S. squad, they actually cut into the deficit that they were facing to make the medal round. They now found themselves 53 pins out of the fourth spot. So they made up quite a bit from how they started yesterday, or from where they started today, I should say. Our two bowlers from Bolivia on 31 and 32 are Marcos Cordova, who you just saw deliver a strike in the third frame. He's joined by Marco Zapata. The Swedish team, once again, Peter Eriksson, Jan Nordberg, Christer Peterson, and Johan Aberg. There's Johan delivering the strike in the third frame. Competing for the Chinese team on 33 and 34. Yi Huang, Yufeng Xia, and Xiangyang Chen. The German team, Frank Peter Frey, Klaus Uvalishka, Olger Oroga, and Uva Chaka make up their four players. So that's who's joining us today here in game number 2. Certainly hope I was remotely close to most of those pronunciations. This is my first international event, so I'm sure I have gotten quite a few wrong throughout the week, but I've learned a lot so far, so hopefully we'll take it on and learn from this experience. As will many of these bowlers when the tournament heads to Germany in 2017. Look back on their experiences here in Las Vegas at Sam's Town. Team from Sweden delivers a perfect fourth frame. So they took over the lead by just 2 pins after our first game today. Looking to hold on to that lead. Have put on a strong performance so far on 31-32. Each bowler already posting a double at some point. And no open frames here in the early going. Germany also getting off to a strong start. They were in 8th coming into this game, so they'll need a very strong finish in their last 2. Only one open so far for them. Once again, if you want to follow your favorite player or favorite team, check out the live scoring application. You can find the link to it at in the description area below the video. There's also a link to the standings. The Australian team also off to a strong start, almost mimicking what we've seen from Sweden so far. So they get ready for the 5th frame over on 45 and 46. U.S. team looking to continue their momentum and get closer to the medal round. Looking all right so far through 4 frames, just 1 open. And Johnny Petraglia and Lenny Borsch Jr. both working on strings of strikes. Nordberg takes care of the baby split to keep Team Sweden clean here. Eriksson working on 3 in a row, hoping to make it 4 on 32. Eriksson makes it 4 in a row. Sweden defeated the United States to take the gold in 2013 right here in Las Vegas. And they are on a roll here. Game 2 of 3 today. Overall, it's game 5 out of 6 for the total qualifying block. We had 3 games yesterday in team competition for the men and the women. And then later this evening, and at the same time, we'll have the semifinal and final matches in the team event for the men and the women right here on Bowl TV. We are in game 2 of 3 for the final qualifying block of men's team competition here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. We're at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 56 Lane Center has been a fantastic host for the event. As it slowly gets to the end here. Can't believe opening ceremonies was nearly a week ago. It's been a great event. Got to meet a lot of great people throughout and gotten to see some good bowling as well from some of the top senior players from around the world. More than 200 competitors from 33 different countries have made it out to the event this year. For many, the team event is the pinnacle event. Being able to get to share the success with your fellow countrymen in hopes of bringing those gold medals back home. Sweden did just that in 2013 on both the men's and women's side here at the Senior Championships, and the men looking poised to give themselves that opportunity again. Your leader after 4 games. Putting on a steady performance here. That was their first open. But overall, it's a very solid effort. So looking to hold on to the top spot and maintain the #1 seed. From that 2013 winning team, Jan Nordberg and Christer Peterson are the returning members of that team. Johan Aberg and Peter Eriksson new to the squad for the Senior Championships. Just the second miscue from Sweden here in game number 2. 5 of 6 total for qualifying. As the big 4 pops up for Aberg. Team from China puts together 3 strikes in a row in the 8th frame. Once again, they only have 3 players representing their country, so also have a pacer. Competing on their pair lanes throughout the day. Also have 2 pacers on 31 and 32, bowling with Bolivia. For the United States, looking at the live scoring, Petraglia and Borsch leading the way. Each with 5 strikes out of 7 frames so far. Bob Learn with 2 opens. And Ron Moore started with 3 strikes in a row and followed it up with 4 spares in a row. So they are still on the outside looking in. Of the medal round. Australia and Sweden have a pretty big margin between them and the rest of the field at the top of the standings. Australia also having a solid game here over on 45 and 46, just 1 open through 7 frames, including a few players working on a few strikes in a row. Question in the chat about where Columbia is at. They are on lanes 37 and 38 this game. If you want to follow the live scoring. As far as in the standings, Columbia all the way down in 17th with 29-11 through 4 team games. So they are, they would need a humongous finish to make it back. They might be a little bit too far out of the top 4. In this round at least, but Columbia already claimed a gold medal here at the 2015 event, as the men's tandem of Nicolas Ruiz and Julio Soto won gold in doubles competition with a thrilling 1-pin victory over Canada. It is early in the morning in Australia. Thanks for tuning in, Doris. Australia actually fell to second after the first game by just 2 pins. Sweden is now leading the overall standings. Sweden with 33.61, Australia at 33.59. The rest of the field more than 120 pins away from them, so both in very good shape to make the medal round later tonight. Currently they are on lanes 45 and 46 here in game 2. We are in the foundation frame on both of our feature pairs. Nordberg looking at another 310, covered it in the 5th frame, also on lane 32. Once again, no problem. Still get to 214. Eriksson leading the way here in game 2 for Sweden. Still has 269 out there. Eriksson gets the hit. Runs a little bit high, but all 10 tumble. To record the strike in the 9th. Germany has fallen a little bit off pace after a strong start in game 2. A few opens here in the latter half of the game. The scores for Bolivia and China are only going towards their all events totals as they try to make the top 24 to advance to Masters, which will take place tomorrow, the final day of competition at the 2015 event. Today's 3 games contested on the 44-foot London pattern. We get 5 strikes in a row for Chen. As he kicks off the 10th with a strike. Still gets 238. Johnny Petraglia, the left-handed legend, putting the U.S. team on his shoulders here in game 2 after starting 6 spare. Has gone off the sheet, still waiting for the fill ball, but has gotten to the 12th shot unscathed since the second frame. So he's going to be in the 270s. So the U.S. can definitely make up some ground here on the teams in front of them. They were less than 60 pins away from 4th spot heading into game number 2 today. And game 5 of 6 overall. It appears Johnny enjoyed getting strange counts when he was not striking this game. A pair of 6 spares in the first and second frame and a 4 count on the fill. So that is the tough way to shoot 270. Bob Learn can still get to 201. Lenny Borsch, 248. And Ron Moore, 211. Over on lanes 49 and 50. Depending on the 10th frame that Australia puts together, looks like they may have the overall advantage going into the final game. Getting ready for the 10th frame. 3 of their players can still get to the 230s and 1 into the 240s. Nice 237 for Chen on 34, finishing up with a 6-bagger before for a 9 count on his final shot. So nice game there. Germany is going to be a little bit south of plus in game 5. So they will need a very big effort in the finale to make a run at the medal round. Sweden and Australia in good shape here, as the final game of qualifying is coming up quickly here on Bowl TV. We'll see who's joining us as well. We'll take a quick look at the lane schedule for lanes 31 through 34. Looks like Japan will be on 31 and 2, Mexico on 33 and 34. Wales will also be joining on 31 and 2. And Finland will be on 33 and 34 too, as well. So that's who's coming to our featured pairs for the final game of men's team qualifying at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. Eriksson missed the single pin in the 10th to finish at 236 for Sweden. So it looks like Australia will move back into the lead. Great shot by Peterson. Recording the double to kick off the 10th. The United States more than likely is going to make a big jump in the standings here. Big finish by Petraglia and Lenny Borsch. Borsch going 248, Petraglia 270. They'll actually be plus for the first time in the team event. As they can, Ron Moore can strike on his fill ball to finish with 909. So the U.S. is about 60 back of the top four. That might be enough to move them in there. Started the day in 7th. Sweden finishes with 825. And for a viewer from Sweden, we had someone who wanted to send a message back home, so there you go. All right, that will conclude game number 2. Game 3 coming up next here. The final game of qualifying for the men's team event at the World Bowling Senior Championships. So a lot still to be determined here, as bowlers not only looking to make the medal round in the team event, but also advance to Masters by making the top 24 in all events. So a lot to be decided. We'll get you the updates as well as who's going to be joining us next as soon as everyone gets here. So everyone hang tight. Game 3, the final game of qualifying for the men's team event here at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships coming up next. Thanks for tuning in.
going to bother anything, right?
Okay, game number 3 is underway here on our feature pairs and around the house. As soon as we get an update on standings, we're going to let you know. Definitely some big games out there. Australia finished strong. They're going to move back into the lead. U.S. with a big game, looking to make their way into the top 4. They were in 7th going into game number 5. Joining us on 31 and 32, we have teams from Wales and Japan. And on 33 and 34, Finland and Mexico. All right, it looks okay. The standings have updated on site here. Looks like the U.S. team had ended up leapfrogging all the way into 3rd with that big game. So sitting 1, 2, 3 right now was Australia, Sweden, and the U.S. If Sweden and the United States end up 2nd and 3rd, it'll be a rematch of the title gold medal match back in 2013, in which Sweden won, giving the U.S. the silver medal. Ron Moore, the only returning member on the U.S. side. So 42-76 for Australia, 41-86 for Sweden, 40-72 for the USA, and 40-47 is England, running out the top 4. Canada in 5th, New Zealand dropped to 6th, Russia 7th, Brazil 8th, Mexico 9th, and Germany 10th. So the U.S. team now leading the block so far. Once again, the big games from Gianni Petraglia and Lenny Borsch Jr., 270 and 248 respectively, helping the U.S. find themselves on the right side of the top 4 for the first time in team event. They were as low as 12th after 2 games. Had a strong finish yesterday to get into 7th. So once again, the overall scores: Australia 42-76. They hold a 90-pin advantage over Sweden. The scores are updated online now. That's where I'm reading them from. You can find the link to that in the description area below, along with the live scoring link. Sweden 90 pins behind at 41-86. Still some separation between Australia and Sweden and the rest of the field. More than 100 pins, but the U.S. sitting in third, 40-72. England 40-47. So they're 25 pins behind the U.S. Canada 40-21. So they're just 26 pins out of the number right now. New Zealand, after holding on to third, dropped all the way to 6th, 39-79. So now they're 68 back. Russia entered the day in 2nd, but they have dropped all the way to 7th, 39-19. So now that we have the player lineup, or the team lineup, let's go over the players joining us on our feature pair right now. For Japan, they are sitting in a 14th overall with 37-41 coming into the final game. Their team made up of Toshihiro Kashi, Ken Nakamura, Etsuo Murakami, and Tadashi Ogata. They're joined by Wales sitting in 20th with a 36-01. John Lambourne, Dave Goodwin, Tony Barber, and Graham Dalton make up their team. Over on 33 and 34. Mexico is sitting in 9th place at 38-64. Manuel Garcia, Alejandro Sanchez, Jesus Gutierrez, and Rafael Gomez. Finland is in 11th, only a few pins behind at 38-48. Their team is made up of Mika Oksanen, Jari Aaltonen, Arturo Letoverta, and Kari Murnomaki. This game will also determine the top 24 for Masters, as well as the medalists for all events. So right now, through 17 of 18 total qualifying games, Canada's John Chapman is leading the way with a 17-game total of 3,722. The Canadians are one pair to our right on 35 and 36. Sean Cummings moved into 2nd from Australia, 36-75. So a 47-pin difference between those two. The U.S.'s Lenny Borsch in 3rd with 36-70, 52 pins behind Chapman. Ron Moore, the first player out of the medal round, or out of a medal, I should say, with 1 to go. He's at 36.50. 20 pins behind his teammate, and 72 away from Chapman. And Australia's Andrew Frawley still sits in 5th at 36.33. After that, there's a bit of a jump to 6th place Manuel Garcia on our featured pair, who started with a split, was unable to convert, but has added 3 strikes in a row. He's sitting in 6th with 35.59. So he's more than 100 pins out of the bronze. All right, an interesting pairing on 35 and 36, with only 26 pins separating them. England and Canada paired up. Once again, that is 35 and 36 on the live scoring. Australia, 1 pair over on 37 and 38. So the U.S. is over on 41 and 42. Sweden moved down to the very high end of the house, so they're out of my viewing range at this point. But be sure to use the live scoring link at the, you can find that in the description area below the video to follow along. We are at the halfway point of the final game of qualifying for the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships men's team event. Australia and Sweden both looking pretty solid here. And in very good shape to punch their tickets to the medal round later this evening. Medal round is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, with both the men and the women bowling simultaneously. We'll have the finals right here on 31 through 34 with both the gold medal matches going on at the same time. The United States was in the number 3 spot. And I've gotten off to a pretty strong start here in the finale. England was 4th. Canada 5th. We'll also know our all events titleist at the conclusion of this game on the men's side. All events consisting of 18 games of qualifying between team, doubles, and singles competition. Canada's John Chapman looking to hold on to the gold. He's already claimed a bronze in singles and a silver in doubles. Held a 47 pin advantage over Australia's Sean Cummings coming into the final game. Chapman started with 2 opens and added a double before a spare in the 5th. Cummings went strike, spare, open, and then a strike in the 4th. Also in the hunt, USA's Lenny Borsch Jr. He started with 4 strikes in a row, added a 9 spare in the 5th. USA's Ron Moore started with a spare, then an open, then a 3-bagger. Australia's Andrew Frawley started with 3 strikes in a row. Looks like he left a 5 count. His opening shot of the 4th. Haven't seen the spare conversion yet on the live scoring, so 5s are usually pretty tough. All right, for a question in the chat about where I'm getting the results at, if you were to click on the link at the bottom of the page, that will take you to the all the different events. If you click on Team of 4, then you actually click on the first link at the top that says results for Team of 4. That's where the actual combined standings are from Block 1 and Block 2. If you go further down to the where kind of where the scores have been at throughout the week, you're actually clicking on the results for this particular block of games. So that's why you see the U.S. in first, and England in fifth, and Canada in seventh. So you're in the right place. Just it's just a different link today compared to the past few days. Looking at the men's all-event standings through 17 games, a pair of Russians sit in 24th and 25th, just one pin separating them. Vladimir Podorochin currently holds down the final spot with 33.68. His teammate Oleg Kozyrev, one pin behind, 33.67 in 25th. The top 24 players do advance to the Masters competition. Manuel Garcia of Mexico put together a nice final game here. He was just outside of the top 3 in all events coming into this final game of qualifying. He is more than 100 pins back of a medal though, or out of a bronze medal, I should say. So it's going to be tough for him to make those many pins up, and it looks like the guys ahead of him all bowling fairly well, but will definitely bring some momentum into tomorrow's performance. So he is in great position to continue on to the Masters. For some of these competitors, this will be their last game if their team did not make the top 4, or as an individual they didn't make the top 24. But regardless, it's been a great week. There's been a lot of great camaraderie from the competitors throughout the week. A lot of folks getting to learn more about bowlers from other countries and this world sport and how it brings people together. I'm sure many will be on hand to support those final 24 who make it tomorrow. All right, we're hitting the home stretch here. Of the final game of qualifying for the men's team portion of the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. We'll also know our all events medal winners and our top 24 players for the medal round. The United States has made a furious comeback here in their final block to all but secure their spot in the medal round. All right, folks, just as a reminder, the final block of women's team qualifying will be coming up next on Bowl TV. This is the final game of men's team qualifying. So be sure to check out worldbowling.org. Find your way to the Senior Championships page. You can get directly there by visiting 2015 WSRC.worldbowling.org to get to the results page. Also, you can find the link at the bottom or below the video here in the description area. You can find a link to that because bowling will still be going on by the time our pairs finish up here. Looking around the house, a few pairs a little bit slower. Fill ball for Manuel Garcia of Mexico, looking to finish up 258. 7-pin doesn't cooperate, but better there than on the first or second shot of the 10th. 257, great game. He's going to have some extra bowling to do tomorrow. Will also be a close finish here for the final spot between England and Canada, bowling on 35 and 36. Neither team relenting as they are in the 9th frame now. New Zealand was struggling here in the finale. It looks like our top 3 teams for sure, Australia, Sweden, and the US, will be coming back later tonight for position round. Or not position round, but medal round. There we go. It's going to come down to the 10th frame for the all events medals as well on the men's side. If my math is correct, if everyone struck out, John Chapman would still hold on to the gold. Lenny Porsche would move into silver. Sean Cummings, I'm getting my players confused here. Sean Cummings would be the bronze medal. But that's a scenario where they all punch out. Ron Moore and Andrew Frawley still right around there. The time for the medal round this evening here in Las Vegas will be at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. We will have the men and women's semifinals and finals going on at the same time. So our final matches, the gold medal matches in the team event, will be brought to you live here on lanes 31 through 34 at Samstown. We'll have them going right next to each other simultaneously. Should be an exciting event to watch. So be sure to save some time tonight to join us. If not, you can always check out the archive later on here on youtube.com/bowltv, as well as any other of the championship matches from the World Bowling Senior Championships so far. Nice finish by Arto, finishing with 244. Looks like on 35 and 36, Canada has gained the momentum heading into the 10th frame. Vervink and Todd Sim working on 4 and 3 baggers respectively. Phillip and Chapman also striking in the 9th, while England was only able to muster up 1 strike along with a few spares. So Canada has taken the advantage going into the 10th. Unofficially, by my math, it appears John Chapman is going to hold on to the all events top spot for 18 games. Once again, that's a big unofficial next to it, because that is my math. I definitely wouldn't trust it, but we'll see if I'm right. But it appears he has put up a big enough number to outdistance himself from everyone who is knocking on the door. Fred Phillips was up on 35, left a 7-pin, converted it. As Wales and Japan finish up here. Graham Dalton and Tadashi Ogata will finish up our feature pairs here today. Raver Vink makes it 5 in a row to kick off the 10th. England in trouble of losing the 4th and final spot. .772 for Japan and a 745 for Wales. We're going to do some finagling of the cameras here to show you the last few shots. So it looks like Canada will secure that final seed. Now turn our attention to 35 and 36 for a few final shots. Canada putting together a tremendous final game. It looks like they are going to sneak into the medal round. Ravervink finishes up 258. Todd Sim working on 3 in a row. Comes in light, leaves the 258. Canadians already at 48.66 for their total team event. England's going to get to 4,800. That appears to be not enough. Sim misses the spare, but I think it wasn't necessary. So unless one of the other teams on the block put together a big score in the finale, looks like our top 4 will be Australia, Sweden, US, and Canada. So that is going to do it for our broadcast of men's team qualifying at the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. We'll be back on the air shortly for the final 3 games of qualifying for the women. We're going to re-oil. They're originally scheduled to start at 12:30. I know we started a little bit later yesterday, so if you check the page, it'll have the runtime till the next event. If we're running late, I will change it so it will reflect that. But that's going to do it for now. So thanks again, everyone, for joining us here. We'll be back shortly for women's team qualifying the 2015 World Bowling Senior Championships. I'm Aaron Smith. Thanks again for joining.